Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where I do how-to videos on various topics. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can create a quiz assignment and also how you can import your grades to make it easier for you. So how to set up the assignment so that the computer will mark it automatically, and I'm also going to show you how you can go back in and mark your short answer questions. We all know that with short answer questions, the answers the students will give will vary, so you cannot give all the possible responses so that they can be marked automatically. Once you have clicked in the class that you want to create the quiz for, you're going to click on create, go to quiz assignment, and from here you just want to enter the title, the instructions, and remember these will vary based on what you need. Click on the Google Forms attachment that was placed there automatically, of course. And once you're there, you're going to see this page. So the first thing I normally do is to rename my quiz. So let's say we are talking about nouns, so I'm going to rename right here as well. If I wanted to add a quiz description, I could have done that here. So there are so many choices we have. Let's look to the right side. You can add a question with this plus. Here you can import questions if you had already prepared them. You can add a title and a description, add image, add a video, or add a section. So if you want to have section 1, section 2, and that's what we're going to do today. So section 1 that I'll be creating will be for the multiple choice, and section 2 will be for the short answer quiz. So let's get into it. Let's go with the first question. The first question I'm going to type. And just for this quiz, to save time, I'm just going to do 2 responses for each. From here, you want to click on answer key, place the points attached, and you want to ensure you choose the correct answer. This will ensure that the computer will mark the quiz for you, will make your job so much easier. You want to ensure that the required button is clicked on. If you don't click the required button, it means the students would be able to skip over that question and still submit the quiz. So if you want them to be able to skip over questions, you can leave it off. But if you want them to answer all questions, ensure that you click the required button. So from here, I can either add a question, or if I wanted to use these responses, I could just click on duplicate. But I'm going to add a question because this time we're going to import questions. Once you click on import questions, it's going to take you to your form. So you will use import questions if you had a form that you had previously done with your questions and you would like to input those questions here. Let me click on one of these. So once you click on the form that you had already pre-prepared in Google Forms, you'll get the options to choose the questions that you have placed here. If you want to choose one question, I'm going to click on select all because this is just for a demonstration. Import questions, and once I click on import, my questions have been imported. Never mind that the questions don't actually relate to our topic, but remember, this is just a demonstration. So we have used these two tools So I'm going to add a question. And for this question, I'm going to add an image to the question. Teachers who are teaching at the kindergarten level, if you want to do a quiz that is just based on image only for your students to understand more, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put a question. May click on where is the noun, and for that I'm going to change this to multiple choice because we're still on multiple choice. So for option one I'm going to click on the image because I want to use images for my responses. Once you click on image, you will have the choice to either upload from your device, your camera. So here are the options. So I'm going to go to Google image search and I'm going to search for a book. Once I search for the book, I'm just going to click on one and click on insert. And remember, the question is asking where is the noun. So my second response cannot be a noun. Picture. I'm going to reword the question. I don't think it's straightforward. So I have changed it to say which picture shows an action. So from here I'm going to expect that the student chooses the right picture. So I'm going to go to answer key as usual, affix the points and choose the correct response as a guide. Click on done and I want to click on required as well. But notice up here for the questions that were imported, notice that I would have to click on them in order to see what was done before. These are not unrequired, so the student would be able to skip over those questions. And you can also add your image as a question. So let's add another question. So if you wanted to add your image as a question, you wouldn't type here, you would just click on the image section here and go through the same process. So that is how you can get images in your quiz. So I think we are done with the multiple choice section. There are enough questions here. I'm going to rename this quiz. Let's call it mixed quiz because it's so mixed up. Bear with me. I'm going to add a section. You want to ensure that when you are adding the section, you are clicked on the last question in your first section. If you don't, it's going to separate your sections anywhere you are actively on any question that you are on. So let's add a section. So notice that my section is below the last question, but let me show you an example. If I was at the top here, so if I clicked on this question and then clicked add a section, this is where the section would have been created. It would have been separated beneath the question that I'm currently clicked on. I don't want it here, so I'm going to merge with above to remove that extra section. So let's go down to section number 2. Alright, so let's add a question to section number 2. Remember, section number 2 is short answers. You can also go ahead and title your section as short answer. So this question has to be a short answer. I'm just going to affix up point here, and I want to ensure that this box is left unchecked. It's very important. So you don't want to mark any of the answers incorrect because you want to go back in and mark them on your own. Click on done, and I'm going to add another question. So from here, it's not a multiple choice, so I change this to short answer. From here, I'm going to add the point affixed. I'm going to leave this box unchecked, and I'm going to enter the ideal answer that I expect to receive. This is important because you want the students to have an idea of what you expect from them. So you have placed the ideal answer. You want to click on done. And another important reason you want to enter the ideal answer is that you want to use it as a guide for when you are marking the quiz on your own, because you don't want to have to rely on memory for everything. So if you have an ideal answer written down, you can just enter it here. It will be easier for you. Click on the required button. And this is where I'm going to stop with the short answers. So I have two sections. The short answer section has 2 questions. And from here, you know that you have to get varying responses. So if I wanted to go on and on as it relates to adding a section, all I have to do is click on add section. If I wanted to add a video, I could have said, watch the video and let's do it instead of talking. Let's do it. So I'm going to click on I added another question, so let's input the video and allow them to watch the video, of course. So let's go to the question, because I'm going to input the question here. Change it to short answer. We're in the short answer section. Watch the video and write 5 sight words you remember. So from here, the student will watch the video, then they're going to write the 5 sight words they remember here. For the answer key, I will just input the 5 marks. I won't put an answer here. I will leave this box unchecked. Click on done. I want this required. So there are so many things that you can do here. So I have my 2 sections completed. They have been saved automatically, so I'm going to exit. Once I've exited here, I can just go ahead, choose my topic, choose my due date, and if you were checking, you would have entered the correct points here. If you have a quiz that is multiple choice, all you would have to do is go in, click on view assignment. Once you are at this area, you're going to click on import grades. Once you click on import grades, it's just going to ask you if you're sure. You're going to click on import once more, and when you import the grades, it's going to be automatically, the grades are going to be automatically placed here on the left hand side. From here, you would just need to return the assignment to the students since the grades are already affixed. Now let's look at how we can go in and mark the short answer questions. We're going to click on the assignment. So once you are on this page, you want to click on the Google Forms quiz you had created. Go to the bottom right hand corner, click on the pencil icon so you can be able to edit. And from here you will see the quiz and you can click on responses. When you click on responses, you can see the summary of the grades. You'll be able to mark either question by question or student by student. I am going to mark by individual. When you mark by individual, you will get the entire quiz for each student. You can go through it with a fine-tooth comb and you can add your comments as desired. So notice that for every question you will see add individual feedback. So if you want to add a feedback to each of the questions, maybe the ones they got incorrect, or you want to tell them good job for the ones they got correct, you can add an individual feedback. So I'm going to scroll down to section 2 because that's our short answer question. So here you will know that there is no grade affixed here. So I'm going to affix a grade. So the student would have gotten the mark. Click on save. Remember, if you don't click on save, the student wouldn't be able to view it. So I'm going to scroll down once more because I'm marking the short answers. So if I feel that the student, given that it's a modifier, I'm going to give them 1 mark. Since they have not told me what it modifies, I'm going to add 1 mark to that section. And I'm going to go down to this section and add 4 marks because they only gave me 4 of the sight words. Click on save. Once you click on save, your edits would have been saved, and just like any of the other questions, you can go ahead and add your individual feedback, telling the student where they went wrong, where they could have improved, if you so please. So we have successfully marked the short answer question of our quiz because the multiple choice question was marked by the computer for us. From here, the edits would have been saved, so we just have to exit, or if I have 10 other students, I'm just going to click and choose the student, do the same thing. So I'm going to exit once I have done that. So from here you can go ahead and click on the student's name where you see the score. You can affix a mark. Of course, this would be the updated mark. Once you affix the score, you can click on the 3 dots and return the grade to the student. Click on return. If you wanted to add a private comment, you could have done that. So once you have returned the grade to the student, it will be under mark. It's important to note that if you did not return the assignment to the student, it would not be placed in the marked folder. So you have to ensure that you return the work to the students by clicking on the 3 dots that's beside the student's name and just click on return, and that is after you have affixed the grade. Notice that all I did to change the grade was to click in where the grade is supposed to be, type in the grade that the student got. And remember that this is for the quiz that involves a short answer. I would have to do this manually because I had to go in and mark my short answers manually based on the varying responses of the students. And remember, I said before that if it's a quiz that is strictly multiple choice, all you would have to do is click on import grades and all the grades would be imported here, and the only thing you would have to do after that is to return it to the student. So once you have a multiple choice quiz, it's easier, just import and return. But once you have a short answer question in your quiz, you would have to go back in, check on the responses of the students, then come back to this section, enter the correct grade, and return to the student. Ensure that you follow the steps that have been outlined. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the end of this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. See you in the next one.